What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? I'm not gonna go through the whole spiel. This review's already late, so I'm trying to wrap this shit up real quick. But thank you to all the subs on YouTube and the followers on Rumble. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. Alright? Trying to get caught up this week so that next week I'll be good to go. Alright? Start off with the same shit that they do every single fucking week, where we see random wrestlers walking into the building. But first we see the reigning, defending, undisputed, dual North American and NXT Women's World Champion, La Primera. The sexy goat demon chick, the Chilean dime piece, Bonito Applebum says you gotta put me on, Stephanie Thank Ya. Alright, coming through, then we see Miss Parker, Jada Parker's fine ass, the back-to-back fine ladies, and then we see some more fine ladies in Fatal Influence. We got Super Steph pulling double duty, defending both her titles here tonight, and then we see the young OG, Javon Evans in the building, rocking the Riley shirt, aka Riley Escobar, aka Pillsbury Doughboy. If you ever seen Boondocks, then you already know. Alright, one of my favorite scenes, best Riley was from season 1. The one scene where he got shot by Granddad, he's like, ah! He said, Granddad tried to assassinate me. Or one of my favorite scenes with Ed. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy.
Man, I'm like the Terminator in this vest. What, you don't believe me? Go ahead. Pull the trigger.
Now, are you sure that...
I said pull that trigger now!
Say hello to my little friend.
Y'all looking at...
Great scene. Season 1's probably arguably the best season on that show, but I digress. Moving on to the first match of the night, we got Miss Parker, Jada Parker, her fine ass coming out, and then we see the reigning, defending, undisputed Women's North American Champion here at NXT, La Primera, coming out, Stephanie Thank Ya. This was a decent match, and I've been saying this shit about Jada Parker. She needs an actual finisher. That hypnotic attack where she's running full acceleration, into her opponent, using all that mass from that ass back there, trying to knock a motherfucker out. That ain't it. We can use that as a signature, sure. But as a finisher, no bueno. Alright? But fast forward to the finish, we see Jordan Grace, Juggernaut, getting involved, causing distraction. Stephanie takes advantage, rolls up Jada Parker's fine ass, 1, 2, 3, and still the NXT Women's North American Champion, Stephanie Thank Ya. And then afterwards, we see Jada Parker, she's trying to beat the brakes of Jordan Grace. We got top flight security trying to break them up, and then out of nowhere, we see Fatal Influence. They come and whoop Stephanie Thank Ya's ass. Beat the brakes off of her, and that's how we end this segment. So we move on, go backstage with the young OG and the big OG. We got whoop that Trick Williams. Trick was like, man, I ain't got time for this shit, bruh. Javon was like, hey, listen, I don't appreciate you treating me like a bitch last week. I had things covered. And then Trick was like, hey, look, listen, man, I ain't trying to hear all that rah-rah from you. What you think, because you're from the Carolinas and that we got dreads, that we brothers? No, the fuck out of here, nigga. I don't know you and I don't care about you. I told you dead ass to your face that you will never, ever be champion. Alright? And then Javon was like, oh yeah? He's like, you keep on doubting me, I'm gonna keep on shocking you. Right? And you've been so hell-bent on Obafemi for the past 4 months, you did what I did to him last week. And then Trick was like, hey, listen, the only reason you took out Oba is because I distracted him. You understand? Don't get it twisted. Like, listen, you got all potential in the world, and that's all cool, fine, and dandy. But there's a distinct difference between having potential and being the champion. Holding that title with your head up high into the sky. You understand? And Javon was like, I thought we were mad cool, but ever since you lost that title, I see you for who you really are. And Trick was like, it's a championship thing, dog. Not that you understand. And that's it. So good exchange here between these two. We move on. We see the reason why NXT has the best women's division on the planet. Look at all this eye candy all in one room. Now, the only one I'm probably good on is Zarya, but maybe a few drinks in, that's a different story, but I digress. Basically, all that happened here was you see Metaphor. You got, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Miss Action Jackson. All right, Scar Jackson, and you got the Bougie Boy, the Legend of Lash. They're arguing with Chemical X. You got Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Nothing really happened here besides for Metaphor bitching about Gigi and Tatum getting a match this week on NXT. Instead of them. And Gigi was like, well, maybe Ava's tired of giving your sorry asses opportunity after opportunity. Right? And that's all that really happened here. We move on to a sit-down interview with Ricky Maivia, a.k.a. The Pebble, a.k.a. Ricky Saints. All right? Got big homie Vic Joseph. He's like, now, how do you feel about all the controversy about people saying that you don't necessarily belong here in NXT? What's your response to that? Ricky says, like, listen, there's a few people that beat me to the jump here, all right? And there's been times where I had to live in my car. There were times where I didn't know what I was going to eat for the next week. But you know what got me through those hard times? My self-confidence. Confidence within myself that I knew that this was only temporary and I was going to get through this situation. That's what led me to being here in NXT right now. And then we see the reigning, defending, undisputed North American champion Shawn Spears coming through. He dismisses Vic from his presence. He says, oh, look, Ricky Saints. We go back, don't we? Look at these two AEW rejects. Well, no. Shawn says, like, listen, there's a reason why I didn't choose you to join my cult. Like, how many times I had to sit you aside and tell you, I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you don't want to ever see me again, I will understand. I believe that's how it goes. Third Eye Blind. When he said, how many times I had to talk off that ledge, it reminded me of that song. So I had to do it. All right, but Shawn was like, listen, man, you do know you have absolutely zero chance in beating me. Like, I don't want you to add me into that long list of enemies. Because, look at it this way. If it doesn't work out here, you can always go back to, oh, yeah, that's right. Well, hate to be you. He walks away. Ricky says, well, that just means I have to win. And that's all that happened here. No good exchange here. We move backstage. We see Wesley, Tyreek, and Tyson. Wes is like, man, look at this nigga getting all the special treatment. Who the fuck he think he is, huh? We're just going to find out real quick how things actually work here in NXT. They walk away. All right, we see Ethan Page getting up. He's getting ready. We see the team move on. Wagner talking shit. And Ethan was like, well, how about I drop your bitch ass like I did last week? We see Dom Dollar stand up. He was like, hey, you gonna talk to my boy like that? Ethan was like, who the fuck are you? And nigga, I'll drop your bitch ass too. And we see Tom Green, a.k.a. Andre Chase. He's like, listen, Ethan, that's not how we do things here. Ethan says, well, this isn't a classroom, professor. Andre says, like, listen, they're young, they're retarded, it's okay. Ethan says, like, no, it isn't okay. You need to teach these dumbasses that they can't write checks their ass can't cash, or I'll do your job for you. That's right. How can I forget? Your dead-ass university is gone, isn't it? Andre is like, oh, that's how you feel? Well, why don't I teach these young men sensitive punk ass men like you who can't handle the truth. Ethan says, we'll see about that. So what happened here? We move on to my favorite tag team here in NXT. We got Kevin James, you got Seth Rogen, Hank, and Tank. They're getting hyped up for the match. They run into Motor Shitty Machine Guns. Get it? Right? Listen, as much as I like Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, I'm like, yeah, it's like, these guys are joining like fucking, like 15 years too late. A perfect time to see Motor City Machine Guns here at WWE. Women from like that 06 to 08 era, the tag teams. Like them mixing it up with Eminem and like the Pitbulls, like Kid Cash and Jamie Noble, and who was it, Regal and the other dude who I don't remember. Like yeah, like that would have been the perfect time for them to come through. But it is what it is, and I don't really care what they got going on here on SmackDown. So we get the match. All right, we have Hank and Tank going up against Tyson and Tyreek. And most of this match had commercials in it. So fast forward to the finish. Tyson and Tyreek hit their tag team finisher. It was kind of like a double team, like back suplex, basically. They hit it 1, 2, 3. Tyson, Tyreek go over. Right, we move on. We see Stephanie Van Kier backstage. She's telling Ava, she's like, listen, I'm the baddest bitch here in NXT. I don't give a damn. I got my ass whooped by failed influence. I'm a woman of my word. I'm giving Fallon Henley her title match tonight. We then go backstage with Fraxium, where Axiom was talking about how we took the ring general Gunther to his absolute limit in his home country of Spain. All right. And then Nathan was like, yeah, man. He's like, you should be proud of yourself. But if I was there, you probably would have won. And then Axiom was like, what the fuck that mean? What I'm talking about. And then we see the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT World Champion, the ruler, Oba Femi coming through. He does look pissed off. And then Axiom's like, oh shit, Oba's pissed. He walks away. Nathan looks. He's like, oh shit, he does look pissed. He was like, oh, really, dude? He's gonna walk away like that? Then we get the match. Right, we have the young OG, Javon Evans. He's taking on the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Heritage Cup winner, Alexis King. With his Puerto Rican lineup, he's defending his cup here tonight. And this was a good match. It was. You got Javon Evans, his crazy athleticism, doing 5-star frog splashes and shit. Crazy. We fast forward to the finish. Alright, we see Oba Femi, he comes out, he's pissed off, yanks his nigga, power bombs the shit out of him onto the ring apron. He gets counted out because he can't make it back into the ring in time. And it's like, thank you. It's like, finally. I always hate when like they get like assaulted or attacked, on the outside and then make it back into the ring in time. It's like, come on, man, just take the count out. Like, it's okay. Alexis King retains his Heritage Cup via count out. And then you got Oba and Javon. They're fighting in the middle of the ring, and we see the retribution of Nexus. I don't know what the fuck these guys are called. You got Lucky Ali, and then the Leon Lennox, is that his name? Or Dion Lennox, that's his name. And the other two, I don't know their names. All right, they're in the crowd, they're watching. We see Trick Williams, he gets involved, hits the trick shots at Javon. Javon is down. Javon is down. And that wasn't no damn accident. He charged directly at that nigga, hit his finisher, laid his ass out. He tried to look like, oh, my bad, dog. Come on, man. You know what you did, Trick. All right, then he fights with Oba. Security comes, top flight security, they break it up. And that's it for this segment. Right. And I didn't see the underground match last week, but I'm assuming, I think, what was it? Javon won because of Trick, I guess? I don't fucking know. I didn't watch it, but. Moving on, we get a tag team match. Easily one of the best matches of the night. And it's not just because of all the ass in this match. Alright? That's that chauvinistic pig attitude. If you know, you know. Alright, get your mind out of the gutter. We have Chemical X taking on Metaphor. We fast forward to the finish. We see a Chemical X hitting her tag team finisher, the Cemetery Drive. I think that's what Vic called it. With 1, 2, 3. Chemical X goes over. Now, as much as it pains me to see Metaphor losing, that just tells me that they're holding off on doing a Metaphor versus Ash and Heather by Elegance. Alright, which is fine by me, because I want Metaphor to win those tag team belts. I really do. Alright, if they're not going to go after fucking Liv and Raquel, then fuck it. Ash and Heather would be the next best thing. We lock in with the Don of NXT, the D'Angelo family, and don't forget, they're sponsored by Progressive. Why? Because these bastards are fucking selfish, and they can never make enough money. It's never enough for these people. Right? So we got to see this fucking big ass advertisement on the bottom of the screen during this whole fucking promo. The Don's goons are like, "Hey boss, the streets are talking, and they're saying a whole lot about you." The Don says, "Yeah, I know. I keep my ears to the streets." Alright, then we see the rest of the crew come in. Lucas says, "Are you okay, boss?" The Don says, "Don't worry about me. Those thugs put a good beating on me by my life. But I want intel. I want to know where these people eat. I want to know where they sleep. I want to know their first name, their last name, their middle name, their birthdays, their aunts, their uncles, their nieces, their nephews. I want to know everything. And I want it now. Stacks, you stay. I got something to say to you." "You okay, Stacks?" Stacks says, "Yeah, I'm good, boss." Tony says, "Remember that one time when Separieto and his goons, they're giving you that business? They had to intervene on your behalf to defuse the situation?" Stacks says, "Yeah, there were some big sharks back then." Tony says, "Yeah, they were. They wanted to pull your card, but I gave you my cosign because you're my underboss. I trust you. Can I continue to trust you, Stacks?" Stacks stands up. He says, "Trust me, T. I will always have your back." Walks away. We take a look on the Don's face. He says, "Yeah, this nigga's a rat." Right? He's gonna pull a Frito Corleone on my ass. You ever seen Godfather Part 2? If you know, you know. Great old school mobster flick. It's a shame that I don't make movies like that anymore, but it is what it is. And as much as I love the D'Angelo segments, we gotta move on. We go backstage with Kevin James and Seth Rogen, aka Hank and Tank. They're chopping up with Motor City Machine Guns. They're talking about sometimes in life you gotta go through short-term pain for long-term gain. Right? There's levels to this. And if I'm Hank and Tank, I'm thinking to myself, well, didn't it take you over 2 decades for you to finally get here? So what are you talking about? Like, how long-term are we talking here? We move on to the next match. We have, it's not confidence, it's all ego. Ethan Page, he's taking on Tom Green, aka Andre Chase. We fast forward to the finish. Ethan hits the Avalanche Canadian Stampede into the Ego Cutter. 1, 2, 3. Ethan Page goes over. Alright, and during this match, we see Ricky Saints, he was on commentary. Or he tries to talk shit to Ethan Page. He gets dropped, laid out by Sean Spears and his goons, or his cult, I should say. We then move on to X-Post or TikTok from Dark State. That's her fucking name. Not Retribution and Nexus, Dark State. Who the fuck came up with this name? It's horrendous. It's goofy and it's fucking corny. Now you got these niggas talking about, yeah, we do what we want in NXT. We're not gonna learn, huh? I'm like, y'all doing a whole bunch of yapping. Why don't you have a match? Alright, and then you could talk. Alright, I ain't trying to hear all that rah bullshit, nigga. Look, we fast forward to the main event. We got the sexy Fallon Henley from Fatal Influence. She's taking on the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Women's World Champion, La Primera, who's injured, by the way, Stephanie Vankier. Alright, and this was, it was a decent match. Alright, Stephanie is still playing to the fact that she got her ass whooped earlier tonight. It's her second match. That doesn't matter because we see a super Steph. Alright, this is like basically another 3-on-1 advantage, for Fallon Henley, but she loses clean. Right? Like there's like no help for Stephanie Vankier because she doesn't need it. Right? Hits the SVB. I think that's the package backbreaker. 1, 2, 3, and still the NXT Women's World Champion Stephanie Vankier. After the match, Fatal Influence whoop her ass some more, and she gets saved by Jordan Grace. It's 3-on-1. She whoops all their asses by herself. Then we see Jada Parker get involved, and then she gets her ass whooped by Jordan Grace. Right, so we're teasing Jordan Grace going after the NXT Women's World Championship that Stephanie Van Kier has. Alright, we go backstage. There's anarchy, pandemonium back there in the women's division. Ava doesn't know what the fuck to do, but she mentioned that she would take care of it next week. And that's it for this week's episode of NXT. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this week's episode. Like if you like, hate if you hate. It's all the same to me. I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys. As far as the next video, I'll be working on the AEW review for this week. Then I got TNA. And I don't know when the fuck Evolve drops, but as soon as I can, I'll do a review for that as well. Along with some other shows I gotta do. So yeah, but wasting off you guys' time. So with that said, be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, protect you and yours, your loved ones, stay warm, stay dry, stay frosty. But most importantly,